I want to tell you about something nobody likes to admit. You know that feeling when someone texts saying they want to drop by? That immediate tension in your chest? The slight panic? The voice in your head going, "Please no, not today." You probably think there's something wrong with you for feeling this way. After all, we're told constantly that humans are social creatures, that we need connection, that isolation is dangerous, that if you'd rather spend Saturday night alone than hosting friends, you must be broken somehow. But what if I told you that your resistance to having people in your space isn't a flaw? What if it's actually revealing something profound about how you're built? Let me explain. When someone walks through your front door, they're not just entering a building, they're crossing into something far more intimate than that. Your home isn't just walls and furniture, it's the physical expression of your inner world. Every room is a chamber of your soul. The kitchen where you make your morning coffee in silence, the corner where you sit and think, the bedroom where you're most vulnerable. These aren't just spaces, they're you. Think about what happens at the end of a long day. You've been wearing your work face, your friendly face, the version of yourself that knows how to make small talk at the coffee machine and smile through meetings. You've been performing all day, playing the role of the competent professional, the reliable friend, the functioning adult, and then you get home, you close the door behind you, you exhale, you take off the mask. Finally, you can just exist without managing anyone's impression of you, without being on, without performing. This is what home really is. It's where you stop being what everyone needs you to be and start being what you actually are. And then the doorbell rings. Suddenly you have to snap back into performance mode. Even in your sanctuary, even in the one place where you should be free, you have to activate that social self again. Put the mask back on, smile, make conversation, be pleasant, play host. Is it any wonder something in you resists this? But here's where it gets interesting. Your discomfort with visitors is telling you something important about how you're wired at the most fundamental level. Some people run on external energy. They walk into a crowded room and light up like they've been plugged into a power source. Other people drain their battery. They need to return to solitude to recharge. Neither way is better or worse. They're just different operating systems. If you're someone who recharges in solitude, then your home isn't just a place you live. It's your charging station. It's where you restore yourself. When you understand this, everything shifts. You're not being difficult. You're not antisocial. You're honoring the way your particular instrument is tuned. A violin doesn't apologize for not sounding like a trumpet. You don't need to apologize for needing silence the way others need noise. But there's something even deeper happening here. We all carry what I call the shadow. The parts of ourselves we haven't fully examined. The feelings we've pushed down. The fears we don't want to look at. The aspects of who we are that we've learned to hide because they weren't acceptable to others. When you're alone, you can safely begin to look at these things. You can start sorting through your inner landscape. You can pick up the pieces and see how they fit together. It's delicate work. It requires quiet. It requires space. And then someone enters your home. It's like someone bumping a table where you've laid out the complex puzzle. Everything scatters. You lose your place. You have to start over. This is why having visitors can feel like such a disruption. Not because you don't care about people, but because you're in the middle of important work. The work of understanding yourself. Your resistance isn't rudeness. It's your psyche trying to protect its integrity. Now here's something most people never consider. In dreams, when you dream about a house, you're actually dreaming about yourself. The house is a symbol of your soul. The living room is your public self. The bedroom is your intimacy. The basement is your unconscious. The attic is your higher aspirations. This isn't just poetic metaphor. There's something real here. When someone crosses your threshold, they're not just walking through a door. They're entering the temple of your being. They're stepping into sacred territory. If you take your inner life seriously, if you're genuinely trying to know yourself and understand the landscape of your own soul, then having visitors can feel like a violation. Even when they're people you love, even when they mean well. Because the real work of becoming yourself doesn't happen in company. It happens in privacy, in silence, when there's no one to perform for, and no expectations to meet. This is the trap so many of us fall into. We've been taught that being a good person means being available, being welcoming, always having an open door. So every time someone wants to visit and we don't really want them to, we feel guilty. We think something is wrong with us. We smile and say yes when everything inside us is screaming no. And every time we do this, we abandon ourselves. We choose social acceptability over our own truth. We prioritize other people's comfort over our own needs. We wear the mask even in our own home. And slowly, we start to lose touch with who we really are underneath. You've probably been doing this so long that you genuinely believe you should enjoy having people over. You should be more hospitable, more social, more open. But who made that rule? Who decided that the ideal human being is always available, always welcoming, always ready for company? Some of us are built for different work. Some of us are meant to go deep rather than wide, to know a few people intimately rather than many people superficially, to spend long stretches alone, not because we hate humanity, but because solitude is where we do our most important work. There's an ancient archetype that appears in every culture's stories: the hermit, the wise one who lives alone, who retreats from society and finds truth in solitude. This figure isn't portrayed as a failure or someone who couldn't make it in the social world. This figure is the one who sees clearly precisely because they stepped away from the noise. And here's the delicious irony. We live in a time when people are drowning in constant stimulation and connection. Everyone is always available, always reachable, always on. Boundaries have dissolved. Privacy has become almost extinct. People are more connected than ever, and more anxious, more depressed, more disconnected from themselves than ever before. Maybe the people who feel uncomfortable with visitors aren't the ones who need fixing. Maybe they understand something the perpetually social crowd has forgotten: that your space is sacred, that your energy is finite, that knowing yourself requires time alone, that not every door needs to be open to everyone. So if you're someone who doesn't enjoy having people over, I want you to hear this. You're not broken. You're not antisocial. You're not failing at being human. You're honoring a deep truth about how you're built and what you need. Your home is your soul made visible. Protecting it isn't selfishness, it's self-respect. And in a world that's constantly demanding access to you, choosing to keep your space sacred might be the sanest thing you can do. The question isn't, why don't you want visitors? The question is, why did anyone ever convince you that you should? Well, you made it to the finish line. That already proves your commitment to growth. If something inspired you today, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs it. Comment wisdom, so I know you're part of the few who follow through. Let's keep transforming, one video, one lesson, one breakthrough at a time. See you in the next one.